Hello, in this video we want to solve this question. Each firm in a perfectly competitive market. Each firm in a perfectly competitive market has a total cost function C equals to 16q squared. Look, this q is small q. This is the output produced by each firm. The market demand function is given by capital Q. This is capital Q. This is the market output equals to 248 minus P. Determine number one, the long run equilibrium price and the quantity per firm. Number two, market output and the number of firms. Now solution. We first distinguish between small q and capital Q. Small q is output produced by each perfectly competitive firm. Perfectly competitive firm. And capital Q is market output. Market output in a perfectly competitive market. The market is perfectly competitive. Now what is the relation between capital Q and small q? Now capital Q is n into small q, where n is the number of firms. Number of firms. That is n equals to capital Q by small q. Now we have to determine the long run equilibrium price and quantity. The long run equilibrium condition for a perfectly competitive firm is P equals to minimum LAC. P equals to minimum LAC and output. This is number one, and P equals to LMC also. P equals to LMC also, and output Q is produced where LAC is minimum. Now what is LAC? LAC is the long run cost. LAC is long run cost. Long run average cost. L is long run, A is average, C is cost, and LMC equals to long run marginal cost. Long run marginal cost. M is marginal, C is cost, L is long run. Now the total cost is given as 16 plus q square, and this is in the long run analysis. Therefore 16 is called the sunk cost. 16 is the sunk cost. And long run average cost, LAC is total cost by output. This is 16 plus q squared by q. That is 16 by q plus q. Now we have to minimize LAC to get the price. We minimize LAC with respect to q. That is dLAC by dq is equals to 0, and d2LAC by dq squared should be greater than 0. Now we do first this one, DLAC by DQ, D of DDQ of LAC. What is LAC here? This is 16 by Q plus Q. Now 16 by Q can be written as 16 Q to the power minus 1 plus Q. That is 16 Q to the power minus 1 plus Q. This is what 16 is constant. Now we differentiate Q to the power minus 1. Minus comes here and then Q to the power minus 1 minus 1. And this Q, if we differentiate Q with respect to Q, we get 1. And we equate this thing with 0. Therefore, DLAC by DQ is what? Minus 16 by Q squared, because the power of Q is minus 2 and minus 2 in the numerator. Therefore, we take in the denominator, it becomes Q squared plus 1 equals to 0. Therefore, 16 by Q squared equals to 1, or Q squared equals to 16. Therefore, Q equals to plus minus 4. Now, Q cannot be negative. Q cannot be negative. Q is always greater than equals to 0. Therefore, Q equals to 4 units. Now, we check this condition, that is D2LAC by DQ squared equals to DDQ of DLAC by DQ. This is D of DQ, and what is the value of LAC? LAC is this thing, that is minus 16 by Q squared. Therefore, I am writing here minus 16 to the power minus 16 into Q to the power minus 2 plus 1. This 16, this minus 2 comes here. Therefore, minus into minus become plus. 16 into 2 Q to the power minus 3 plus 1 is a constant number. If you differentiate, it becomes 0. Now, this is 32 Q to the power minus 3, that is 1 by 4 Q. This is a positive number. Therefore, this condition is also satisfied. That is D2LAC by DQ squared is greater than 0. This is also satisfied. Therefore, LAC is minimum where Q equals to 4. That is, each firm produces 4 units of output. Each firm produces 4 units of output. That is, a long run quantity per firm is 4. Now we have to calculate the price, long run equilibrium price. And what is the long run equilibrium price? That is minimum LAC, LAC, that is value of LAC at Q equals to 4. At Q equals to 4. Now, LAC is what? 16 by Q plus Q. Now, minimum LAC. This is what? LAC at Q equals to 4. This is 16 by 4 plus 4. This get cancelled as 4, and 4 plus 4 is 8 units. Therefore, P equals to minimum LAC equals to 8 units and Q equals to 4 units. Hence, the answer of part 1 is long run, the long run equilibrium, price is 8 units and quantity is 4 units per firm. Now we have to calculate the market output and the number of firms. Part 2. Market output is Q. This is market output equals to 248 minus P. We substitute the value of P here. P equals to 8. P equals to 8. That is 248 minus 8 is 240. Market output is what? Market output equals to 240 units. Now, number of firms. What is the number of firms? Is capital Q by small q. Capital Q is 240 and small q is 4 units. Small q is 4 units. Therefore, 60. Number of firms. Number of firms is 60. Market output is 240. Number of firms is 60. This is the answer of part 2. I hope everybody understood the explanation of this question, of the answer of this question. That's it for this video. Thank you.